It's good to see everyone here. I'm Edward from Meteor Wallet, and it's been quite a crazy year, actually. We have seen a lot of changes in narrative, and today I would just like to talk a little bit about value accrual shift in a chain abstracted world. Well, if you know me well enough, you will realize that I'm actually quite passionate about chain abstractions, and coming actually from a product and technical background, I'm actually supposed to talk more about the technical implementations or like some of the products updates in Meteor Wallet. But today I decided to sort of talk more about value accrual instead. And why is that? I think in the past couple of years, we have actually seen quite a lot of teams that were pretty good in creating applications and made some good updates that eventually shifted towards vertical expansion and decided to work on protocols, which is quite fine because provided that a lot of value accruals in the past actually happens in protocol levels, which is blockchain and just L1, L2, it makes a lot of sense to do this, to make these decisions. But I would say that I would argue that in the next 1 to 2 years, we'll see a shift in who is going to make more money generally in the entire blockchain stack. And that's what I would love to share today. So before I start, I would like to give a few credits to actually Robbie Peterson from Delphi Digital. A lot of what I'm going to share today actually have a huge reference from them. And if you haven't read it, I would strongly recommend you to go through it because it does give me a huge change and impact on how I think about the entire blockchain stack and how I think about things working right now. So the way that I'm going to do presentation today is I'm going to share a few predictions on what we're going to see in the coming next few months or years. It might not be true, but I would be staying here to see them if that happens. So the first one is I believe we are going to see the diminishing of fat protocol effects. What is fat protocol effect? It's basically stating that protocol layers is generally the final layer that accrues the most value. And this is particularly interesting because that changes actually coming from something that is a shift of behavior from users. In the past, we see blockchain-first user behavior, and in the future, we will see application-first user behavior. What do I mean by blockchain-first behavior? So we probably know blockchain is a very complicated technology. And the thing is, it is the same with any other technologies. AI is complicated, AR is complicated, VR is complicated. But unlike any other technologies, blockchain is currently being served in a very raw way directly to the users. What do I mean by that? So just imagine if today you are recommending your friends to buy a meme token, Black Dragon, for example. So we're going to tell them, hey, man, go look at these tokens. It's going to pump 100x. What do you think your friend is going to do? So without giving him more context, what he's going to do is first look into Black Dragon tokens and try to find out which blockchain it is on. So let's say he found out that it's on Near protocol. Then he is going to do research around Near protocol, whether or not that is trustworthy. He found out Near protocol seems solid. OK, then he'll start to research about which wallet he's going to use. He found a wallet, let's say Meteor wallet. He's going to create an account. He's going to save his seed phrase. He's going to do a lot of things. And afterwards, he's going to look for DEX that he can trade and actually get Black Dragons. Instead of serving users a simple function that allows them to just buy tokens, we are serving them the entire blockchain ecosystem. That's how raw we are serving the entire technology stack. But I believe that's going to change very, very soon. In a chain abstracted world, users will be served with application first, and that applications will have a lot of middlewares that abstract out different things. So instead of telling you the entire blockchain and telling you what to do, what you can do within this blockchain, the application will just navigate for you and just serve you the best rate. Now, we talked about the fat protocol thesis just now, but what actually powered the fat protocol thesis underneath is the network effect of the blockchain. And this network effect actually comes from us, the builders of blockchain, consistently delivering the walled gardens for users. What do I mean by walled gardens? Let's say in the user case scenario just now that your friends managed to buy Black Dragons. Now he has created an account, he has get used to the wallet, he has get used to the DEX. And those all are actually sunken costs, which means if he now decides to move over to the next token, let's say Dogecoin, he would probably have to redo all of them, download a new wallet, find a new DEX to trade them, and do whatsoever. Those sunken costs and those effort that he has paid off will have to be redone, and that is what brings the network effects to the blockchain. I know that's not a good thing, but essentially, that is what makes a lot of users being sticky to the blockchain today. And onboarding, that is also actually onboarding users directly to the blockchain, and which is not the right approach. Chain abstractions, on the other hand, sort of solve this. And I would say there are 3 layers of chain abstractions that would have to happen for us to really have an ideal world of blockchain that can be delivered to the mass. The first layer would be identity. Second layer would be state and asset. By state, I mean your state on smart contract could be your social state, could be your sort of trading history state or whatsoever. Then gas abstractions. And with all these 3 layers ready, I would predict that we will have a future where users get to transact across networks with any assets using just single account. Moving forward, my second prediction is that race to the bottom will basically happen everywhere. And that is because what users cannot see or feel will eventually be reduced to commodities. What does that mean? So just now we mentioned about different stack of layers in blockchain, and if we look closer, it essentially looks like this, where we have users at the top, then we have applications and wallet right now. They're basically at the same layer because to sign the transactions, you need to have a user interface that you can look at that generates the order, and you also need a wallet to sign the transactions. And underneath applications and wallets, there's a lot more, but we can reduce them down to just 2 layers, which is infra and middleware, and also protocol layers. In a chain abstracted world, the only thing that users is going to feel is just applications. Whatever that's being served to them will be displayed on the applications, the rate, the speed, and whatsoever, and beyond that, users don't care about things anymore. So going back to the first prediction, we say that right now we are serving blockchain directly to users. That essentially means we are also shipping the think about community, about the vibes of a blockchain, about how decentralized is a blockchain. Just imagine today, as you go on Twitter, you find Near Protocol, you see people talking about how decentralized it is, how good it is, how sharded it is. But in a chain abstracted world, nobody cares about what community you have on the blockchain. They might care about community on the specific token, but not the blockchain itself. They wouldn't care about how decentralized a blockchain is, just like you wouldn't care about the NFT you purchased 2 years ago, whether it's on IPFS, which is fully decentralized, or whether it's on a centralized Google Cloud storage. Those things that get reduced into commodities basically will have only quantifiable attributes. And I will reduce that to 2 things, which is the speed, the execution speed, and also the rate. The attributes that we're gonna sort of reduce includes the things we mentioned just now, the vibes, the community, the algorithm. Today we have seen a lot of algorithms around how liquidity is being displayed. They won't really matter so much in a chain abstracted world. The next thing, so let's say if now race to the bottom happens, resources get reduced, and eventually front end just pick the best rate from whichever applications or whichever DEX or whichever infrastructures they get, where does the value go from? Based on a few predictions, we actually see people believing that the value will go back to the applications or value will go to the wallet, the fat wallet thesis. I personally believe that most value will go back to the users. Now, that doesn't mean that it is going to happen immediately. I believe in the short to medium term, users will still pay for premiums on 2 qualities, which is convenience and trust. I think these are the 2 intangibles that is worth investing on. And these convenience fees will persist and generate values for early adopters. For at least, I think, 6 months to 1 year, those who can quickly adopt to chain abstractions and bring users the best experience, that is convenience and easy to use, users will pay for it. In the longer term, I believe the race to the bottom competition will also happen in the front end. We are starting to see Jupyter team delivering a front end, a wallet front end that charges no fee, that's easy to use. And I would certainly believe that in the future, they will improve it a lot, that it might look and feel more like Phantom's wallets or even improve it while they are not charging any fees. Phantoms today is charging 0.585 fees. Jupyter, which sort of has a similar brands and believed, trusted by the users, are going to deliver a similar experience with no fees and perhaps better rates. So if you're users, I believe you would choose Jupyter, which doesn't charge you any fees. And invisible hands of the markets will eventually just place users towards the most efficient and most simple to use front ends. So if any of the applications today is trying to expand towards vertical and becoming protocols, I would say that's probably not the best place that you want to invest in, because in a world that everything gets thinned out and gets quantified, you don't really generate much value. End users relationship is something that you generally want to care about. And the next prediction that I have is, the slide's a bit screwed up here, but I'll try to go through it. Wallets and applications will become one. So just now we mentioned about things underneath applications, and wallets will get sort of commoditized. The next thing is front end becomes the final place that decides the order flow, essentially deciding where values will go to. And right now, if you look at the front end, a complete transactions or action on the blockchain essentially has three items, which is securing and storing private keys, generating transactions, which is capturing users' intention. You want to know what orders users want to make, and also signing transactions and also publishing them. So the convenience and trustworthiness, just now the two intangibles we mentioned, will be the most important thing that users want to capture. And these two things come from simple thing, which is wallets and front ends. So in the future world, I believe we'll see only two types of applications, which is first for undifferentiated cases, things is like more undifferentiated, like swapping, investment, where only numbers matters. I think super apps will come into place. And in a more differentiated cases or specialized use cases, we'll see different applications like socials and gaming. In a short conclusion, I believe in the future, most of that value will go back to the users. And if they don't go back to the users, it is going to stick in the front end for service fee. There's no much point to go create different protocols to compete against each other. And the best one is to bring applications and onboard users. So that's it from me. Thank you. And if you have anything to talk to Meteor Wallet, feel free to reach out. I'll be glad to assist. Thank you.